The night was quiet at the remote observatory. Stars sparkled like tiny diamonds in the sky. Dr. Amir sat alone in front of the giant telescope, his eyes scanning the endless darkness above. The soft hum of computers filled the room, and the blinking lights of monitors created a strange rhythm. Suddenly, one of the screens started to flicker. A pattern appeared on the graph, something that did not belong to the normal background noise of space. Amir leaned closer. His heart beat faster. This is not random, he whispered to himself. He pressed a few buttons, zooming in on the signal. It repeated in a strange rhythm, almost like a language. It was regular, intelligent, and deliberate. The room seemed to grow colder, or maybe it was just the shock running through him. He called Dr. Sarah, his colleague, who was reviewing satellite data in another room. "Sarah, you need to see this," he said. Sarah hurried over. Her eyes widened when she saw the screen. It's repeating. This is not natural. Amir, could it be aliens? Amir shook his head, but deep inside, he felt the same thought. No one in history had ever seen something like this. The signal came from a point far beyond the nearest star systems. It had traveled light years, and yet it had arrived at the perfect moment, reaching human ears for the first time. The news spread quickly. Governments, scientists, and media outlets all joined the discussion. Some people were excited. Some were afraid. If it is aliens, are they friendly? Are they dangerous? Questions flew around the world. People stayed glued to screens, waiting for answers. Amir and Sarah debated what to do. Should they reply? Should Earth speak to this unknown intelligence? Some scientists wanted to wait. They feared a mistake could bring disaster. But Amir felt something else. We cannot stay silent. We have to respond. If we do nothing, we might lose the only chance to communicate, he said firmly. Finally, after long hours of discussion, the team decided to send a reply. The message was simple, a greeting, basic images of Earth, and sounds of life, birds, waves, laughter. The transmission left the observatory like a small pulse into the vast ocean of space. Everyone held their breath, waiting for a response. Days passed. Nothing came. The world started to grow anxious. Many doubted if the aliens even received the message. Then, suddenly, the signal returned. But it was different. It was faster, sharper, almost urgent. Amir stared at the screen, unable to blink. The pattern had changed in a way that suggested understanding. The aliens were not just listening. They were reacting. Sarah looked over his shoulder, her face pale. It feels like they can feel us. Our hope, our fear. Maybe they sense our emotions. Amir nodded, too stunned to speak. The signal pulsed again, as if responding to the excitement and fear in the room. Outside, lights flickered in the small town near the observatory. People noticed strange flashes in the sky, moving fast and disappearing. Some thought it was satellites, others said it was natural phenomena, but Amir and Sarah knew it was connected to the signal. The world was slowly waking up to the fact that they were not alone. The observatory became the center of attention. Scientists worked day and night, trying to decode the alien message. Every beep and blink of the computer was analyzed. Every small change in the pattern made hearts race. The pressure was high, but curiosity was stronger. Humanity had never faced something like this before. One night, Amir stayed longer than usual. He looked at the stars and felt a strange connection, as if someone, or something, was looking back. His hands shook slightly as he typed a new response. "We are here. We want to understand. We come in peace." He pressed send. The message vanished into the dark universe, tiny but full of hope. Seconds later, the signal reacted immediately. The pattern changed, faster than ever. Amir felt his pulse rise. The aliens' reaction was instant. Something in their response made him feel both excitement and fear. It was as if the universe itself was watching, waiting. Sarah came into the room, her eyes wide. "Amir, the signal, It's different now. It's like they know we are alive, and they know how we feel. Amir swallowed hard. We have opened the door, he said quietly. And we do not know what will come through it. Outside, the night was still, but stars seemed brighter. Somewhere, far away, a civilization listened. Somewhere, far away, a reaction had begun. And on Earth, humanity waited, not knowing if the next moment would bring friends, or something completely unknown. The observatory lights blinked, computers hummed, and the signal pulsed, creating a rhythm that no one on Earth could ignore. The first step of contact had been taken, and nothing would ever be the same again. Days passed after Earth's first reply. The observatory was crowded with scientists, journalists, and government officials. Monitors displayed the alien signal in real time, and every pulse and blink made hearts race. Amir and Sarah worked tirelessly, trying to understand the language hidden in the pattern. Then it happened. The signal changed again, not slowly, but suddenly, almost like it had heard their thoughts. The pattern moved faster, sharper, and somehow, emotional. It was no longer just numbers and symbols. There were pauses, repeats, and irregular beats that seemed to mimic feelings. Amir stared at the screen, unable to look away. They can feel us, he whispered. Sarah shook her head. It's impossible. Yet I feel it too. Governments around the world were alerted. People were told to stay calm, but panic was spreading. Strange events began. Electronics flickered and failed in random places. Some people reported hearing strange hums in their homes, while others saw unusual lights moving silently in the night sky. No one could explain it. The aliens were reacting, and their reactions were connected to human behavior. Amir and Sarah realized something terrifying. The aliens were not just observing Earth, they were observing humans. Fear, panic, hope, calm, all of it changed the pattern of the signal. Every emotional outburst sent ripples through space. If people panic, they could misinterpret us, Sarah said, voice trembling. We have to control ourselves, or they might react in ways we can't handle. The team decided to conduct a controlled experiment. They sent a calm, friendly message, using only images and sounds that showed cooperation and peace. The response came almost instantly. The pattern slowed, became smoother, and the urgency in the pulses vanished. The aliens were responding positively. Yet the suspense grew. Late one night, Amir noticed a new pattern hidden in the pulses, a complex sequence that seemed like a puzzle. The aliens were communicating more than before. It was as if they were testing humanity, trying to see if humans could understand and work together. This is bigger than we imagined, Amir said, eyes wide. They are watching how we act. Not just what we say, but what we do. Sarah nodded, her mind racing. We need to show them that humans can think, cooperate, and stay calm. This is a test. And we can't fail. Outside the observatory, strange lights grew brighter. A few small craft-like objects moved slowly in the sky, invisible to the naked eye but detected by sensors. The world was changing, even if most people didn't yet know it. Humanity had taken the first step, but the aliens' next move could be unpredictable. The next morning, Amir and Sarah held a press conference. We have received a new signal, Amir said, trying to keep calm. It is intelligent, and it is reacting to us. We must stay united and careful. The room buzzed with questions and tension. Reporters asked about danger, about panic, about hope. Amir only smiled faintly. This is the beginning of something we do not fully understand, but it is the start of contact. Back in the observatory, the signal pulsed again. This time, it was different. The pattern was almost human-like, with pauses and hesitations that suggested awareness. Amir's heart pounded. They are aware of us, more than we can imagine, he said. Sarah looked at the screen, fear and wonder in her eyes. And they are waiting for us to respond in the right way. The day ended, but the signal did not stop. The monitors blinked through the night, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. Outside, the sky was calm, but the world had changed. Humanity had sent a message, and the aliens had answered in a way that no one could ignore. The suspense was unbearable. No one knew what would come next, but Amir and Sarah understood one thing clearly. The next response could change everything on Earth, forever. The observatory lights flickered once more. The signal pulsed faster than ever. Somewhere, far away in the endless darkness of space, an alien civilization was watching, learning, and waiting. And on Earth, the countdown to understanding, or disaster, had already begun. Days turned into weeks. Humanity had sent several messages, each one careful, calm, and full of hope. Yet the signal from space had changed again. This time, it was not just numbers or patterns, it seemed almost alive. Amir and Sarah stared at the monitors in disbelief. The pulses now carried rhythms that mirrored human emotion, almost like the aliens were reacting to the world itself, not just the messages. Outside, the sky began to change. Strange lights appeared in isolated areas around the world. Some people saw glowing orbs moving slowly across the horizon. Others noticed metallic shadows disappearing in the clouds. Governments tried to explain it as satellites or weather phenomena, but no explanation fit. The aliens were sending their presence, testing the reaction of humanity. Amir watched as the signal pulsed faster whenever fear was reported on Earth. A news report showed panicked crowds in Tokyo, and the alien signal on the monitors seemed almost agitated. Sarah's voice was tense. They are responding to our fear. The more chaos we show, the stronger their reaction. We must stay calm, every action counts. In a control room deep underground, world leaders debated what to do. Some argued for evacuation, some for hiding technology, others for showing peaceful intent. Amir realized the challenge was not just understanding the message, but controlling human behavior. One wrong step could provoke a reaction they could not predict. That night, the observatory received a new segment of the signal. It was different, structured, yet commanding. It was as if the aliens were sending a warning. The pattern moved in waves, and a small team of linguists began to decode it. They discovered a message hidden in the pulses, a series of coordinates and symbols. The meaning was unclear, but the implication was frightening. The aliens were aware of Earth's locations, of population centers, and of human actions. Amir felt a cold shiver run down his spine. They are not attacking, he said quietly, but they are observing. They are testing us, our calm, our unity, our choices. Sarah nodded, fear and awe mixed on her face. And if we fail, we don't know what will happen. We cannot panic. We cannot fight each other. Everything depends on how we act. The next day, strange events escalated. Electronics malfunctioned in crowded cities, causing minor chaos. Traffic lights blinked erratically, airplanes reported unusual readings, and satellites captured moving objects in the atmosphere that defied explanation. Humanity was being tested, and the aliens' reactions seemed to grow with every human emotion displayed. In the observatory, Amir and Sarah prepared a calm transmission. They included images of humans helping each other, working together, and showing empathy. The signal from space responded almost immediately, slowing and stabilizing. It was a small victory, but the tension remained. The aliens had the power to observe and react, and the world had yet to learn the rules of engagement. Late at night, Amir looked at the stars, thinking about what awaited them. They are not enemies, not yet, he whispered to Sarah, but they are powerful, aware, and patient. We have to be smarter than we have ever been. Sarah's eyes were fixed on the glowing signal. And the moment we fail to stay united, they will notice, and we don't know what will happen next. The monitors pulsed softly, like a heartbeat echoing across the universe. The aliens were close, yet unseen. They had sent a warning, a test, and humanity had begun to understand the stakes. Outside, the sky was calm, but for Amir and Sarah, the night carried a weight that could not be shaken. Somewhere far away, in the endless darkness of space, an alien civilization watched silently. Every human action, every moment of fear or hope, was recorded in the pulses of the signal. And on Earth, humanity waited, not knowing if their next move would be the first step toward friendship or disaster. The night ended, but the tension remained. Every heartbeat of humanity, every breath of hope, every flicker of fear could change the reaction of beings far beyond their world. The countdown had begun. The aliens were patient, but they were watching, and Earth had never felt so small, so exposed, and yet so alive. The observatory was quieter than usual, but inside, the tension was thick. Amir, Sarah, and their team had worked non-stop, trying to decode the alien signal. Every beep, every pulse, every flicker on the monitors carried meaning, but the message was complex, unlike anything humans had ever seen. Hours turned into days. Linguists, mathematicians, and engineers crowded the room, scribbling notes, connecting dots, and comparing patterns. Slowly, a structure began to appear. The aliens' pulses were not random. They followed rules, logic, and even emotions. Amir leaned back in his chair, exhausted but excited. "Look at this," he whispered. "The signal reacts to our responses. It adapts. It's learning about us while we learn about it." Sarah studied a sequence on the main monitor. "It's almost like they are teaching us, or testing us. Every time we send a comm message, the pattern changes in a positive way. But when there is panic, it becomes irregular, almost warning us." Amir nodded. "It's a mirror. Our behavior shapes theirs. This is bigger than communication. It's interaction." The world outside was still unaware of the depth of the alien observation. People saw strange lights and unusual events, but scientists now realized these were not attacks. They were responses. The aliens were sensitive to human emotion, human logic, and even human conflict. The key to survival was understanding how to communicate not just with words, but with behavior. Late one evening, the team discovered a breakthrough. Hidden in the pulses was a repeating symbol pattern, a code that represented simple concepts: life, peace, energy, and space. By combining these symbols with images and sounds from Earth, the scientists could start sending more sophisticated messages. Sarah's hands trembled as she typed the first composed message. "This is it," she said softly. "This could be the first time we truly talk to them." The message left Earth like a small heartbeat into the vast darkness. For minutes, the observatory remained silent. Then, the alien signal responded. The pattern shifted immediately, smoother, calmer, almost as if the aliens were nodding in understanding. Amir's eyes widened. They understood. They really understood. But understanding came with tension. The signal soon added a new element, something no human had anticipated. The pulses now contained sequences that suggested choices or tests. It was not just communication. It was a challenge. Sarah stared at the screen. "They are testing us. They want to see if we can cooperate, think logically, and act without fear. If we fail, we don't know what happens next." Outside, lights moved faster in the sky. Small, almost imperceptible objects drifted in silence. Sensors picked up faint energy waves. The aliens were present, but distant. Their observation was subtle, patient, and almost clinical. Humanity had a chance to prove itself, but every mistake could be costly. Amir rubbed his tired eyes. "We have to show them we can work together. We have to send a message that represents the best of humanity, not the worst." Sarah nodded. "We need unity, logic, and calm. Our behavior is our words now." The team worked through the night. Images of people helping one another, children playing, scientists collaborating, and landscapes of Earth were encoded into the new signal. The pulse from the aliens reacted immediately, brighter and steadier than before. The observatory seemed to hum with energy. Humanity had taken a step forward, not just in communication, but in understanding. Amir and Sarah looked at each other, a mix of relief and fear on their faces. "This is only the beginning," Amir said. "We can understand them, but they are still testing us. We have to be ready for what comes next." The monitors blinked like a heartbeat, carrying knowledge and patience across the endless dark of space. Somewhere, the alien civilization watched, learning about humanity with every pulse. And on Earth, people unknowingly participated in the most important test of their existence. The night ended, but the challenge remained. Humanity had learned to communicate, but the aliens' true purpose was still unknown. Every calm decision, every act of unity, shaped the reaction of beings far beyond their world. And somewhere, far away, the aliens were preparing the next step in this cosmic conversation. A step that could change everything. The world was tense. Every human action, every emotion, seemed to ripple through space. Amir and Sarah had decoded part of the alien signal, but a new sequence appeared, complex, precise, and demanding. The aliens were not just observing anymore. They were testing humanity. The new message contained patterns resembling puzzles. Some symbols suggested choices, others indicated logical sequences. Amir studied the monitors, rubbing his tired eyes. "It's like they want to see if we can think together, solve problems as a team, and stay calm under pressure," he said. Sarah nodded, her voice quiet. "They are not attacking. But if we fail, I don't know what happens." Governments and scientists worked together like never before. Teams were assembled to respond carefully, ensuring every message sent showed cooperation and intelligence. Panic was forbidden. Fear was the enemy. Humanity had to act as one. At the observatory, the first challenge arrived. The alien pulses contained a series of coordinates, symbols, and light patterns. Amir and Sarah realized it was a simulation of choice. How humans reacted to these challenges would determine the aliens' next response. The pressure was unbearable. Every decision mattered. Outside, strange events continued. Lights moved in formation over cities, and objects defied explanation. Sensors picked up energy waves, but the aliens never made a threatening move. It was clear, this was not a battle. It was a test of calm, logic, and unity. Amir and his team worked day and night. They analyzed the patterns, tested responses, and coordinated messages showing Earth's cooperation. Sarah sent images of people helping one another, scientists collaborating, and children learning together. Each pulse from space responded positively, smoothing and brightening like approval. Yet tension grew. Not everyone on Earth understood the stakes. Panic still flared in some places, and minor conflicts occurred. Amir watched as the alien pulses changed, sharp, erratic, warning of failure. "They can sense everything," he said grimly. "Fear, chaos, anger, it all reaches them." Then came the moment of the final sequence. The aliens sent a complex puzzle, a combination of symbols, images, and logical patterns. It was far beyond any single person's understanding. The world had to work as one. Teams in different countries coordinated, communicating through encrypted channels, carefully analyzing the alien signals. Every move was calculated. Every response measured. Hours passed. The pulse from space grew faster, almost impatient. Amir felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. "We cannot fail," he whispered. "This is more than communication. This is survival, or at least, acceptance." Finally, the last piece of the puzzle was completed. Sarah pressed send on the carefully composed message. Silence filled the observatory. Then, the alien signal reacted immediately. Pulses glowed brighter than ever, rhythmic and steady, almost like applause. The test had been passed. Humanity had shown cooperation, intelligence, and calm. Amir slumped in his chair, exhausted but relieved. "They understood us," he said quietly. Sarah smiled faintly. "Not just our message, but who we are." Outside, the sky was calm, but strange lights still lingered, moving silently and observing. The aliens were patient. They had accepted the test, but their final intentions remained unknown. Humanity had passed the first challenge, but Amir and Sarah knew the journey was far from over. The monitors blinked softly, carrying the pulse of approval across the endless darkness of space. Somewhere, far away, the alien civilization watched, waiting for the next human action. And on Earth, people unknowingly took part in the most important experiment of their existence. An experiment that would decide the future of contact with beings far beyond their world. The night ended, but tension remained. Humanity had survived the first test, but the aliens' true purpose, and the next challenge, loomed closer than anyone could imagine. Every act, every decision, every moment of fear or calm would shape what came next. And somewhere in the stars, the aliens waited, patient and aware. Humanity had passed the first test, but the observatory was far from calm. Amir, Sarah, and their team watched the alien signal closely, knowing that the next response could change everything. The pulses were different now, faster, sharper, and filled with a rhythm humans could almost feel in their chest. Something extraordinary was about to happen. Late one night, the signal shifted completely. It was no longer a simple pattern of pulses. It contained shapes and symbols that seemed three-dimensional, almost alive. Amir's eyes widened. It's not just a message. It's a communication beyond words. Something they never showed before. Sarah leaned closer to the screen. It's like they are reaching into our minds, showing us ideas, feelings, possibilities we cannot even imagine. The world outside had grown tense. Strange phenomena intensified. Lights moved across cities in silent formations, energy waves fluctuated in strange patterns, and small anomalies appeared everywhere, objects floating slightly, electronics behaving strangely. Humanity had passed the first test, yet the aliens' presence was becoming more real. Then the breakthrough came. Linguists and scientists realized the symbols represented concepts of connection, understanding, and knowledge. The aliens were offering more than observation. They were offering insight, technology, and wisdom, but only if humanity continued to act as one. The signal seemed to say, "You are ready to learn, but unity is required." Amir felt a mix of excitement and fear. They are giving us a chance, a gift. But it comes with responsibility. One wrong move, and it could vanish, or worse, they could withdraw entirely. Sarah nodded. We have to show them we can keep our world united, peaceful, and intelligent. Our behavior now is as important as our messages. The aliens' reaction was not what anyone expected. Suddenly, the signal pulsed in a complex sequence, faster than ever. It contained images, scenes of human cooperation, but also warnings, destruction caused by greed, fear, and conflict. The message was clear. Humanity had a choice: continue as one, or let fear and division undo the chance they had earned. Global teams coordinated to send another response. Images of scientists helping each other, communities rebuilding, and peaceful gestures from all nations were transmitted. The aliens responded immediately. The pulse slowed, brightened, and the complex symbols became clearer, almost like approval. Humanity had passed the next test, not just intelligence, but moral understanding. Yet Amir and Sarah felt the tension. The alien reaction suggested they were still learning, still judging, still observing. This was not a final answer. Somewhere far away, the aliens' true intentions were unknown. They had reacted in ways humans could not predict, and the final revelation, the ultimate reason for their observation, was still hidden. Outside, the night sky glimmered with alien energy. The air seemed to hum with a presence unseen but felt. Humanity had achieved a remarkable victory, yet the stakes were higher than ever. One misstep could reverse everything. Amir looked at Sarah, determination in his eyes. We've learned a lot, but we cannot stop. This is bigger than any one nation, any one team. The entire planet must act together. This is a lesson in who we are, and who we could become. Sarah's voice was steady. We've earned their trust, but it's fragile. Every choice counts now more than ever. The alien pulses continued through the night, glowing steadily, almost like a heartbeat across the universe. Somewhere, the alien civilization watched, patiently, their understanding growing as humanity proved itself worthy. On Earth, humans were unaware of the cosmic attention they were under, Yet every act, every decision, shaped the next moment. The night ended, but the suspense remained. Humanity had earned a gift, a revelation, but the final test, the ultimate interaction, was still ahead. The aliens' true purpose remained a mystery, and the world waited, tense and curious, for what the next pulse would reveal. The future of contact, and perhaps the fate of humanity itself, hung in the balance, observed by eyes beyond the stars. Humanity had survived the tests, passed the puzzles, and shown the aliens that they could cooperate, think, and remain calm. The observatory buzzed with anticipation. Amir and Sarah watched the monitors closely, knowing that the next signal could change everything. Then it came. The alien pulses glowed brighter than ever, moving in patterns that felt alive. Symbols appeared, more advanced than anything before, yet they carried a clear message, a gift. The aliens were offering knowledge, technology, and understanding, but it came with one condition: humanity must continue to act as one, to remain united and wise. Amir's hands shook as he translated the first part of the message. They are giving us the tools to change our world, to grow, to understand the universe, but only if we remain responsible. Sarah's eyes widened. This is beyond what we imagined. It's not just communication. They are trusting us with a future. Across the globe, scientists and governments coordinated to receive the gift. Advanced designs for energy, medicine, and technology flowed through secure channels. The alien signal pulsed in rhythm with human understanding, as if encouraging them to learn, to explore, and to apply knowledge wisely. Yet the alien's message was subtle. It was not a handout. It was a challenge. "We can take this gift," Amir whispered, "but we must prove we deserve it every day. One wrong choice, one act of greed or fear, and it could vanish. The test is continuous." Sarah looked at the screen, where the pulses formed patterns that seemed almost like eyes, observing and learning. They aren't here to rule or conquer. They are guiding us, teaching us, showing us the best path, if we are willing to follow it. Outside, strange lights lingered in the sky. They moved in silent formations, watching, waiting, almost like guardians. Humanity had reached a milestone. Contact had been made, understanding had begun, and a gift had been offered, but the ultimate purpose of the aliens remained a mystery. The world celebrated cautiously. People marveled at the new technologies, the knowledge, and the insight offered. But Amir and Sarah knew that the greatest lesson was not the gift itself. It was the unity, patience, and wisdom humanity had shown. That was what the aliens valued most. As night fell over the observatory, the monitors pulsed softly, like a heartbeat across the universe. The aliens' presence was still unseen, but undeniably there. They had changed humanity, and perhaps humanity had changed them, too. Amir looked up at the stars, voice quiet. "We thought we contacted them, but maybe they were contacting us, all along." Sarah nodded, feeling a mix of awe and caution. "And the journey is just beginning. We've learned the rules, but the universe has many more." The pulses continued, steady and calm, carrying wisdom across the cosmos. Humanity had a gift, a new understanding, and a chance to grow beyond its old limitations. Yet the story was not over. The aliens remained watchers, guides, and mysterious beings whose final intentions were still unknown. The night ended, but the universe remained vast and full of possibilities. And somewhere, far away, the alien civilization observed silently, waiting to see what humans would do next. Every choice, every action, every moment of unity or fear could shape the future of Earth, and perhaps the fate of countless worlds beyond. Humanity had opened the door to the stars. What came next was theirs to create.